Hello, book people. P.T. Hilton here. Alongside me is my good friend, former college roommate from back in the day, Pipes. Welcome, Pipes.
Nice to meet y'all.
You're the first guest I've ever had.
He's lucky I'm genuine.
That is interesting. You're the first guest I've ever had on my channel, and part of the reason, we talk books all the time, but part of the reason I wanted to have you on here is you have an interesting theory. Are we going to call it the Mossberg Theory?
I think it's got to be the Mossberg Theory.
All right.
I don't know where to look. Is that the camera?
Yeah, this is the camera.
All right.
We'll just let's just turn it over to you.
Well, can I shut the door? Because
Yeah,
now we got people coming in. Mossberg Theory.
Lay it on us.
All right. So here's the deal. And I'm big into post-apocalyptic books. I can't say that word without like a twitch.
Fair enough.
Every book that I read, every survivor story, everything, eventually they pull out a Mossberg. and so I've come up with kind of a rating system of books. Because here's what I think. If an author doesn't know guns, they inevitably put a Mossberg in there because that's what they've read.
Sure.
Now, you're saying, well, what about pistols? Same thing. You got the Glock. The Glock is in every book. The problem with the Glock is it is a self-respecting weapon. So I almost feel like the Mossberg is just fictitious. Does it even exist?
And by the way, you're talking to a guy who wrote Glock into his book. So
yeah, I know.
I'm guilty of this.
But see, that's the thing. I don't like immediately when I read Mossberg. I almost my mind says, this person doesn't know guns. But even further, if we take this one step further, Mossberg Glock, Mossberg for your rifle, Glock for your pistol. The evidence is in the knife.
Ooh. Okay.
So if an author ever throws a knife in the book and mentions a kabar, I don't even know how it's pronounced.
I go K-bar. I don't know.
I think K-bar. All right. If they mention a K-bar in it, they don't know knives. Not that K-bar isn't a nice knife. It's a great knife.
It's just the go-to.
It's the go-to. Every author writes a K-bar. Why don't I see an author writing about an Ontario? Or, maybe they're a little thrifty. Maybe they don't have $200 to throw down on a knife, so they buy a Mora.
Could be. Wow. You're really opening my eyes here. So what do you draw from that? Like when you see let's say you have your hero strapped to the Mossberg, Glock at the hip, and also a K-bar. How do you feel about the book?
So if they bring out a Mossberg, I know good things are happening.
Okay.
I don't necessarily respect the author as far as having used the things in choice, but I know good things are going to happen when the Mossberg comes out. You got action coming.
Right.
The Glock, it's hit or miss. However, if they go outside of the Glock world, then I know they're legit. So, like, if they step past the Glock and say a Sig Sauer, I know they've done their homework. But Glock I can go either way. Either they have, and because it is a standard weapon of choice for enforcement agencies, they went with it. Otherwise, they don't know anything and they just use it because they've read it in books.
That's what they've read. Awesome.
Something else tells me, all right, they've done their homework. When I pick up a book, I read a Sig Sauer, I know they've done their homework. Knives, if they mention Kabar, K-bar, whatever it is, I know it's going downhill real quick. And don't get me wrong, some of my favorite books mention K-bars.
All right. That's interesting. So what if a book hits the trifecta? If they've got all three, then are you like, does that knock the book down a star for you?
Then you're Blake Crouch.
Nothing wrong with Blake Crouch.
It's the trifecta. It's downhill. If the apocalypse come, you'll be able to take out that author because they don't know what they're doing.
So you're targeting them for post-apocalyptic annihilation.
Exactly.
All right, let me before we wrap up here, let me get your give me three quick picks for post-apocalyptic readers.
Oh, geez. Are you serious? Without prep?
With no prep time. Because it's a hot genre that I feel like I haven't read that widely in it. I think
okay. I just dissed him, but I'm going to go Blake Crouch for Run.
That's a good one. I've read that.
I thought that was an amazing book. He's got a few like mommy issues and stuff like that he can work through. But generally the book was good. Stephen King, The Stand. No matter how far we go, even though they're talking about like soda that doesn't even exist anymore, and Stephen King will spend a chapter describing the soda and how it bubbles when it goes down the throat. He used lots of words. At the end of the day, it's a damn good book. everyone's going to tell you to go the route. What's the book? You know what I'm talking about.
The day after.
Yeah,
day after.
20 minutes later, or an hour later, or a day after.
1 minute.
1 minute
One
later.
second after.
One
What
second
the hell
after.
is the name of that book?
But it's got Newt Gingrich or something on the.
Yeah, Newt Gingrich wrote the prologue.
Yeah.
Definitely wears his political heart on his sleeve. Yeah, 1 second after.
1 second after. Okay. You know what? He did a good job. Don't read it.
All right, can you elaborate a little bit? What?
It's kind of like, wow. Unless you're a vet, if you're a veteran, and God bless you, I have respect for you, then read it. If you're not, if you're like me and you just respect the vets, don't read it. Go with the first 2, maybe 3 of the Angry American series.
Oh, by
Angry American.
Angry. That's literally like he's not kidding. That's the author's name.
Yes.
I mean, it's probably not his name, but it's what he
First
went
2
with.
for sure. First one's great. Second, good. I haven't even gotten to the 4th. 3 is good. But what's the Mickey Mouse one? I'm gonna look it up while PT's talking.
There's a. First of all, it's kind of weird. Our knees are practically touching here. This is this.
We haven't done this since the Stevie Ray Vaughan story of 6 String Blues.
There's a book that's about a post-apocalyptic trip to Disney World.
It's awesome.
Pipe speak a Disney.
You didn't even read it after you sent it to me?
No, I knew it hit a lot of your buttons. So
All right, I got it.
you got it.
All right, so the book is Apocalypticon by Clayton Smith.
Do they actually say it's Disney World in there and stuff like that? Or
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to do. So if you're a hardcore post-apocalyptic book novel, want to know how to survive, you want to go on Creek Stewart's, hail to Creek, Creek Stewart's little show, because you know how to survive, it's not a good book. If you enjoy fiction
I do.
and can jump into the fantasy world and say, you know what, maybe we're not, the apocalypse isn't happening, maybe it is, this is a good book, check it out. There's a little bit more fantasy than I typically like in a book I read, but it's all good. And if you know Chicago, their portrayal of Chicago is so spot on. I can't even... Probably the best portrayal of Chicago that I've read, which is sad.
Wow.
But I read post-apocalyptic novels, and Chicago apparently isn't a hotbed for that.
You know, I've been thinking of recommending to you the Harry Dresden books, which is because I'm a little skeptical because it's about like a wizard kind of guy in modern times. But it takes place in Chicago, and it's written in a very like a first person style that I think you'd like. I know John L. Monk is a huge fan; it's a big influence on him. So I kind of think you might like it. It might be worth a try for you.
If you have the means, pick up a book by either John L. Monk or P.T. Hilton.
Indeed.
Probably my 2 favorite authors in the world.
Awesome. And even if you don't have the beats, feel free to borrow some money. Do what you got to do, man.
Here's the deal: if you come approach me because I own all the works of all of them, I'll hook you up. But you got to find me, not an email.
That's bold to pirate a dude's book while you're sitting next to him and be like,
I'm not going to pirate. I'm going to borrow. That's how books started back in the day, back in the 1865s when the KGC was crawling all over this earth. You think they were buying books? No, they were borrowing.
all right, I'll give you permission to borrow my book.
They're bringing it. Whoever
my book.
finds me on the street is bringing it back.
Okay.
Just for the record, if you borrow one of PT's, this Reg 19, you're getting the real cover. This is the new cover. I like it. But it's not the original.
Indeed. Cool. Well, thanks for joining us on our I'm like turned into a talk show host all of a sudden.
Apparently.
Thanks for joining us on the show here. Well, thanks for coming be my first guest, Pipes.
All right.
We'll talk to you next time.
Like I said.
People. Bye.